So most times the reason why we seem to always see these kind of challenges is because the organization or the company or the business owner does not even take the time out to do a survey. Because I remember, a week ago today, that was actually what we were talking about, looking at, kind of the things you actually talked about. Before you go into the market, you must do a survey. You must know what your market actually wants so that you can fill in that gap. Now, looking at filling in that gap, you talked about the fact that we have a lot of companies for financial services, like you talked about banks, how some customers would rather be in a particular bank and stay in long queues to make sure that they get serviced by this particular bank. What if those other banks that they've refused to go to doesn't cater for the kind of service that they want, doesn't offer the kind of service that they want? Maybe it caters to only those particular clique of people who form the exclusive niche of the society. There are two reasons why that situation can occur. Number one is the exclusiveness of certain institutions, and I described it with a particular, some financial institutions that you will, even if you have your 100,000, you will feel scared to enter. They've sent a signal. They didn't ask anybody not to enter. They sent a signal. They sent it from their security personnel. You look at the way the security man is dressed. He's looking cleaner, better looking, better packaged than most managers. So the first signal is, hey, do I have enough money to deposit here? So they've sent the signal. That's number one. The other reason why the people might choose to be on the queue is because where they are standing on the queue has sent that signal that we're excellent, we are durable. And at that point where there was some bit of shaking, people were looking for durability, reliability, and they were quick to send out that signal. Okay, you're talking about banks now. Let's talk about customer-oriented service companies.
Okay.
The ones that package, for instance, food products that we buy, products that we use for our cars, or normal home appliances and the rest of it. Okay. How does this also, play out for them? Okay,
I'll take a particular food outlet. They are on Ikeja, right? They have been operating. I've been there with some friends, and not just regular. But I think they had this brainwave to go to the island, Lekki in particular. But when they got to Lekki, which is my challenge with the other food outlets beside the church, one church, even though they maintained their brand name, but they changed their operational model. Now, they understood that Lekki has no night. Lekki people are night crawlers. In fact, life starts at night in Lekki. So they instituted a 24-hour service. And from some information I've gotten, they seem to sell more from between 12 a.m. and 4 a.m., which is the typical time an average Lekki person is probably coming from party. Life is fun at night there. So they changed their business model. Now they changed the outlook of their outlets, because they understood that these people have options. They're coming out from their expensive mansions, coming out from into their flashy cars, and from their flashy cars to their exotic offices. From their exotic offices, they are not coming. The next place they want to go and eat is either a Chinese restaurant or an eatery that's top-notch. So they said, we will keep the name, but we will change the experience. So from the moment you enter there, from the way they arrange their settings, from the queuing system. In fact, it was even so serious that they said, if you're buying from a certain denomination, you can only use your ATM card. They would dare not try that in Ikeja.
Why not?
Because people want to pay how they want to pay.
Well, you see, that's just the funny thing. You see, we still have, an exclusive kind of list also in Ikeja.
Absolutely.
So they also need
to
make sure that they can cater to this exclusive list, apart from the other people who would also want to come to eat at this eatery. Now, looking at improving that customer experience, customers are king. Everybody knows that. And there's some very finicky customers that will not settle for less. Now, in a business's bid to actually improve that, there's a tendency to also run foul of other laws kind of, guiding, pleasing your customer or being able to stay in the market. So should you, as an organization, do everything you want to please the customer at your detriment? How can an organization, for instance, who is, wants to make money for themselves, but also at the same time, cater to customers and ensure that they are still loyal to them 10 years on, strike a balance?
Okay, you said customers are kings. That was in those days.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
No, I beg to disagree. I'm a customer,
okay,
and I'm king. And if, for instance, if I buy a product and I do not like it, I will take it back to the company. And if the company gives me any issues on it, of course, there are customer laws that protect me as a customer.
Congratulations. You used to be a king. Now you are a lord. Customers are lords now.
Is a king higher than a lord, or a lord higher than a king?
Well, we worship Lord. I mean, in terms of deity, I'm just saying, trust me, it's just terminology. I'm just playing with semantics. I'm just playing with words. What I'm saying is we must treat the customer as he is the Lord. Because without him, your business, and your employees will not exist.
And so I should, if I, as a company owner now,
yeah,
I should do everything to please the customer at my detriment. For instance, if I want to, cater to clients in Lekki,
yep,
if I move my business there, I cannot afford it, but I know that I have what that market needs.
Exactly.
And I go there. But because I am looking at the ambience, I'm looking at creating an environment that will make you comfortable and make you feel as if you're not away from your home, you're still in your house, then I will now incur debt. I will put myself in a precarious situation that I'm at the end of the day, I might not be able to come out from.
Anytime you put value into anything, people are tempted to pay more. If you walk outside the road now, you will see different brands of cars. What's the function of a car? To get you from one destination to the other. Auto. But people have understood that it's not just enough to have a car. You need to have some bit of comfort. So they've designed some seats. You sit on it and the seat by itself adjusts to almost like clip your body, right?
Makes you comfortable.
Make you extra comfortable. And they've said, no, it's not comfort, it's not just enough. You need an experience. So they've started installing GPS, DVDs inside cars. But then they said, no, it's not enough. You need security. So there are bulletproof cars. There are cars that they said cannot turn. Are they not selling? You know the funny thing? They ran a survey in America, and they found out that washing machines of $600 and above sold more than washing machines of $400 below. Why? Because people were looking for features. They were looking for the extra things. The decision they thought to buy is always logical, but at the point of purchase, it's always emotional. Purchase is an emotional thing. People, which is why most times you come back from shopping and you feel bad. Why? Because you would have bought all the things you didn't want to buy. It's about the feeling of the person. It's about how the person feels when it comes in contact with your product or your service. So I'm saying if you go to the island and you're able to package something that meets the taste of those people, all you need to do is put a price tag on it.
So, in my bid to package something that will appeal to my customer, and also try not to run into debt and the rest of it, and looking at the fact that the purchasing power of an average Nigerian is not as high as it should be. Actually had a conversation with somebody about that yesterday, and he said it was really actually very low. So putting all that into consideration and looking at the fact that I'm very passionate about being in business, I'm very passionate about filling in that gap, that market gap that I've seen. And I've seen that, I have a ready market for it. Yeah. But I want to create value. Yeah. And I want to do it in the best way. Can I realistically do it in this kind of environment that I found myself in, where we see that the purchasing power is low, but the people want high quality products? How can we get a situation where it will be win-win for everybody?
Okay, absolutely. Create different categories. Create categories. meet the needs of people at different levels. So what you now do is create the exclusive product, create the product for the middle income earners. But when you come to the low income earners, put some bit of value and excellence to it. And this is a simple analogy to describe that. You see two people who are dressed for work. One person is looking like out of this world. But if you run a check on the cost of what they are putting on, the guy who is dressed very exclusively, his clothes are priced lower than the other guy. All he did was that he took an extra time to iron his shirt, to wear it right. So it's how do you present this to customers? You see people selling used cars and they do not wash it. Is that the problem of the product? It has nothing to do with the income level of the person you're selling to. The value of the car is 800,000. But if you washed the engine, washed the tire, and you present it to people, you can ask for 820,000. But even if you are selling for 800,000, it will just bring more people to your environment. So I'm saying, put some dignity to when we say low income earners, put some dignity to it when you're selling it to them. Don't throw it at them. Don't fling it at them. So if you package it properly, you will be giving value at an affordable rate, and you will not be seen as a low-class organization.
And apart from that, you'll also be building a loyal customer base.
And you'll be building loyalty as you go on.
Okay, let's quickly take a break. And when we come back, we'll look at how a customer or a company can actually leverage on customer experience, not only create a loyal customer base, but be able to attain it. You're still watching Business Morning on Channels Television, and we're broadcasting live from Lagos, Nigeria. On the program today, we're actually looking at value creation and customer experience and how businesses can actually leverage on this to be more competitive. And I've been having this conversation with an entrepreneur and the creative director of Ipoint Limited, Peter Ogbonna. He'll be here with me in the studio when I return in just a moment.